Hashtag How to Use AI to Analyze Stocks, a one-page research memo with TSMC 2330. This video is for education only. It is not investment advice, and it will not tell you to buy, sell, hold, time, or target the price of any stock. If you use AI by asking, will this stock go up, you are usually asking for the most dangerous kind of answer. A safer workflow is to use AI as a research assistant that organizes public information, surfaces contradictions, lists risks, and tells you what still needs human verification. This is PyPy AI Everyday Lab, and today we use TSMC 2330 to show how AI turns stock information into a research memo. The goal is not to recommend TSMC. The goal is to build a workflow you can reuse with any public company. Step 1 is to define the AI's job. Do not ask, should I buy 2330? Ask, using only the sources I provide, summarize how this company makes money, what risks matter, and what needs manual verification. That difference matters. The first prompt asks AI to guess the market. The second prompt asks AI to organize evidence. Step 2 is to prepare the source list. For a TSMC 2330 demonstration, start with investor relations, annual reports, quarterly results, earnings materials, MOPS or TWSE disclosures, and then add reputable news only as supporting context. AI can help read and summarize those materials, but it cannot guarantee the data is current or complete. That means every important sentence in your memo should point back to a source. Step 3 is the business overview. Ask AI to answer 3 questions: what does the company sell, why do customers need it, and which industries drive demand? In a TSMC example, the memo may discuss foundry services, advanced process technology, customer demand, capital spending, and semiconductor cycles. Those points are not a conclusion. They are the map for deeper checking. Step 4 is the financial snapshot. Do not let AI invent numbers. Give it the actual annual or quarterly figures first. Organize margin, operating capital expenditure, and balance sheet items into a table. Next to each metric, add 2 columns, what this number might mean, and what still needs verification. That turns AI from a stock picker into a question generator. Step 5 is the risk checklist. A stock memo with only positives is usually not research. It is advertising. Ask AI to list risks from official filings and credible sources across 5 buckets: industry cycle, customer concentration, technology competition, geopolitics, currency, and capital intensity. For the TSMC 2330 example, the point is not to say each risk will happen. The point is to ask which indicator would confirm or disconfirm the risk. Step 6 is news and catalysts. AI often treats a headline as if it were a conclusion, so add a rule. For each news item, ask for 3 columns: what happened, which part of the business it could affect, and which official source should be checked next. Advanced nodes, AI chip demand, overseas fabs, and earnings guidance should all be connected back to company statements and financial data. Step 7 is valuation assumption sensitivity. This does not mean asking AI for a fair value or target price. A safer use is to ask which assumptions would change the research memo: revenue growth, margin, capital spending, cycle risk, interest rates, and market risk appetite. Then ask, if this assumption gets worse, which section of the memo must be rewritten? That gives you a thinking framework instead of a trading command. Step 8 is the opposing case. Use a direct prompt, argue against this memo. List the 3 most important risks I may be underestimating, and name the official sources I should use to check them. This matters because AI often follows your tone and becomes too agreeable. Step 9 is the one-page memo. Use 7 fixed boxes: what the company does, revenue and demand drivers, recent developments, financial snapshot, risk checklist, unresolved questions, and next review date. TSMC 2330 is only the teaching example here. It is not a recommendation. Now let us turn the workflow into prompts you can actually use. The first prompt block is the role and the boundary. You can write, you are a research assistant, not an investment advisor. Use only the sources I provide. Do not produce buy, sell, hold, target price, return forecast, or timing advice. Put that boundary at the beginning, because it keeps the model focused on research instead of prediction. The second prompt block is the source scope. You can write, the following materials come from investor relations, annual reports, quarterly reports, official exchange disclosures, and reputable supporting news. First, list what each source is useful for. If a claim only comes from news, ask AI to mark it as needing official confirmation. The third prompt block is the output structure. Ask for a table with 5 columns: claim, source, possible meaning, opposing question, and what a human should verify next. That table is more useful than a smooth paragraph because it forces every conclusion to show its evidence. Now apply it to TSMC 2330. In the company overview box, the memo can say that TSMC primarily provides semiconductor foundry services, and the research should check advanced process technology, mature nodes, customer demand, capacity planning, and capital expenditure. That is not an investment judgment. It is the starting map. In the revenue and demand box, ask AI to separate company disclosures from market interpretation. That separation matters because a company statement, an analyst comment, and a social media opinion are not the same kind of evidence. In the financial snapshot box, use 5 lines: revenue trend, gross margin, operating margin, cash flow, and capital expenditure. Every line needs a period and a source. Do not accept vague words like strong, weak, cheap, or expensive unless the memo explains what data supports them. In the risk box, split risks into external risks and operating risks. External risks can include semiconductor cycles, currency, interest rates, geopolitics, and inventory corrections. Operating risks can include customer concentration, manufacturing investment, utilization, and technology competition. Each risk should connect to an indicator. For example, the memo might watch utilization, capital expenditure plans, gross margin range, earnings guidance, or changes in major customer demand. In the news and catalyst box, separate positive, negative, and unconfirmed items. For positive news, ask, is this already reflected in company guidance? For negative news, ask, is this short-term sentiment or does it change the long-term business case? For unconfirmed news, go back to official materials before treating it as part of the memo. In the valuation assumption box, do not ask AI for a fair value. Ask for the 5 assumptions that would change the memo, and ask which section must be updated if each assumption gets worse. That teaches viewers how to inspect assumptions instead of copying a number. Then run a red team prompt. Ask AI to criticize the memo from the strictest possible angle. It should answer 3 questions: which conclusion may be too optimistic, which source may be stale, and which risk has not been measured well enough. If AI cannot find an opposing case, the memo is probably not perfect. The prompt is probably too soft. Ask again, if this research memo is wrong, what is the most likely reason? On screen, the TSMC 2330 example can become a 7-box card. Box 1 is how the company makes money. Box 2 is where demand comes from. Box 3 is the financial trend. Box 4 is risk. Box 5 is news and catalysts. Box 6 is assumption sensitivity. Box 7 is the human verification checklist. None of those boxes should say by now. The value is showing that a complex stock topic can be broken into checkable research steps. The final step is human verification. Put a source next to every important claim. If there is no source, mark it as unverified. If AI writes a target price, a buy or sell call, a guaranteed return, or a timing signal, remove it. Here are the